Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
I'm Cynthia.
I'm Alison.
And we have a combined 55 years of experience working with children, families, and experts in early education.
We are not random influencers.
No, we are not. Whether you are new or have been our podcast peeps since 2018, we are thrilled you found us. We're back, preschool peeps.
Hi, peeps.
If you were here last episode, we talked about how it's a recording day. We always record more than one episode in a day
Yes.
while we're together.
Yes.
And so, we're wearing the same clothes. But, I noticed that we're like a reddish and a greenish.
I
That was not
almost-
on purpose.
And I almost wore a similar color to this. And I was like, no, I'm changing. And then I changed into this. So, yeah.
Like, these episodes are releasing in January. I wonder if people are thinking, did they purposely dress like it was the holidays?
Like the holidays,
no.
no. We don't even confer. I just honestly, I take whichever is on the
we don't
top
even
of the
talk
pile and I just throw it on. I don't really think.
We talk about a great many things before recording, but our clothes isn't
the
one of
clothing.
them.
Yeah.
No. All right, so we're going to talk about where we're being listened to, and then I'm going to tell you something about me.
Yeah.
And then and we're not just randomly doing that. It leads into today's topic.
Yes.
So don't turn us off right now. Don't go, why are we learning more about her? Because it relates to today's topic.
We got it all under control.
Not that you aren't fascinated at all,
Right.
but all right. So,
All right.
so Allison, tell us where we're being listened to. The first one you're going to say, I'm not sure if we've mentioned already because of a message we got, but go on.
I agree, because did we mention this?
We
message
might have,
before?
but go mention it
Okay.
again. It's worth
But anyway,
repeating.
we are being listened to by the people of Ukraine, which I think is amazing.
It is amazing. And we may have mentioned it in the past. And if you weren't listening to that episode, we're just going to say it again because we're just so proud of this.
Yeah.
We got a message on YouTube from people in Ukraine saying that they listen and that it's helped them when they have to take shelter with children.
Yeah.
And that it has taken this long for me to be able to say that without crying.
Yeah.
Because every time I mentioned it to someone or saw the message, I cried. It was so meaningful to me.
I cried when you sent it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my
I can't.
goodness.
And,
We don't.
Yeah.
We're sitting here in a room in my home,
Yeah.
doing what we do,
Yes.
and we don't always realize the impact.
Right.
And so, those of you in Ukraine, we are always thinking of you and all that you've been through, and hopefully won't always be continuing to go through.
Right.
So thank you for listening. Spread the word when you can.
Yep.
And then we're going to name another place. I actually have good friends of ours who visit this state pretty frequently because their
really?
child moved there. But go on.
Oh, because we are shouting out the people of Boulder, Colorado today.
Yes, Colorado. They spend a lot of time in Colorado.
Pretty there. Right, with the mountains.
You
I've
know,
never been
I
there,
have to
but
tell you, I've been there, but it was really like a layover on a
so you
trip.
didn't get to really like
I went
explore.
outside. I did.
But
I went
you
outside.
didn't actually experience it.
I did not get enough time to experience it, but we did have a layover on a trip to the West Coast. Hopefully one day I'll get back to Colorado because my friends do say it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So thank you for being among our preschool peeps. We see you. We thank you. Yes. Thank you for being in those statistics.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about names.
Yes.
And so you may notice something, not yet, but soon and eventually happening if you're looking on YouTube and you're looking at our names that are always up on YouTube, or if you're looking at the descriptions or on our website, you may have started to see a little bit of a change coming from me because I have been using the name Cynthia in my business world. I love the name Cynthia. It is not my legal name, much to my chagrin.
Right.
And by the way, much to my dismay, my whole life, because when I was young, I had to consistently, and my mother had to consistently prove to things like school systems that Cindy was actually my legal name. I was always being yelled at for not writing my full name when I was young. I still, to this day, have to carry a birth certificate with me when I go to get official documents because they question it. It's been a sore point for me forever. And I was busy doing other things for a very long time, having a family, raising children, and thinking this is more of a hassle to change it than I want to go through. But I've reached a point in my life now where I don't want to think about what I want as a hassle anymore. What I want matters.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever have any regrets in my life. So
Right.
I will be, not yet, but I will be going through a legal process to change my first name officially to Cynthia, which is what you all thought my name was anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks my name is Cynthia. So honestly, I've put it on because you can use a name,
Yeah.
not change it legally,
Yes.
as long as you don't sign financial or legal documents with it. So I have been putting Cynthia on all my business things except for contracts and agreements and checks. I have to tell you, no one is surprised, and people are just saying, well, are you preferring your legal name now? And I have to say, that isn't even my legal name, but yes, I prefer it, and it's going to be my legal name.
Yeah.
So it's been confusing for
Yeah.
people, and I decided I'm eliminating everyone's confusion. And by the way, it now pains me to not be able to sign it on contracts and checks. So you're going to see the Cynthia change, and you're going to. I'll let our peeps know when the legal process is complete.
Yeah.
I'm not starting it yet, just because of my own time frames in my life.
Right.
I need time to be able to go or sit online and change it everywhere
Right.
once I change it, and
Right.
that's what I'm thinking about is
Yeah.
that process afterward, not the doing.
Yeah.
So I will eventually just kind of pull that plug and do it. So it made me think about names more deeply, and it made me think about what we call people,
Right.
and what preferences. And then I was in an early child care program, and I saw something happen that I've seen happen so frequently, and I've always questioned, and that's that the adults in a classroom were calling a child's parents mom and dad.
Yeah.
And not in reference to the child. Okay, so here's what happened. The family came to pick up the child, right? And the families are kind of gathered in the hallway waiting for the children to be dismissed, basically.
Right.
And an adult walks out of the room, turns to a parent and says, Mom, I need to talk to you about something. You're talking adult to adult now. The child
Right.
isn't even there.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we know these people's preferred
you should
names?
know their names.
Their preferred names. Like, do
Right.
you want me to call you Mrs. Smith, or do you want me to call you Susan?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
Yeah.
So it isn't even just, in my estimation,
Right.
it's not even just, okay, we're going to call everybody Ms., Mr., Mrs. It is, what do
Right.
you want me to call you?
Call you.
That needs to be on the paperwork.
Right.
And so that made me curious, and I started to look at paperwork. I started to look at questionnaires that are given out to families in different
Right.
programs.
Or for me, like I put out like a little thing on back to school night, like what is your child's name? What email or how do you want me to contact you? And what do you prefer me to call you?
That has to be, what do you prefer me to call you, not
Right.
just name.
Because I tell the parents, like, if it's just me and you and we're just talking adults and the kids are not in the room, please call me Allison. You know, like we're adults. I don't want you don't need to call me, whatever. Like the kids are not here. Please call me Allison.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like me to call you? You know, and some of them say, hey, just call me by my name or I prefer Mrs. whatever, you know, whatever it is. But like, then I make sure to call them that.
And people may not care. It was interesting.
some
I had a
people don't care.
conversation about my name. I have
Yeah.
on my Zoom, on my professional Zoom, I have Cynthia Tarabush
Yeah.
now, because I'm using that for business.
Right.
And I had a colleague say to me, do you want me to call you Cynthia? I'm not sure how I'm going to switch. Like,
Right.
I've known you for years. I just go to Cindy automatically.
Right.
And what I realized for me was, I don't really care if other people use Cindy or Cynthia. You can use either one. I don't care. This is about me having choice.
Right.
Right? And adults need that choice. So we need to look at people and say, not only on your forms, it usually says name, and
Yeah.
they put their full name.
They'll put their full name, yes.
And then right near that, we need to put preferred name.
Preferred name.
As
Yeah.
someone who's been putting a preferred name on websites and things for universities,
Right.
I have to tell you, it was more difficult for me to get a preferred name in some of this software than if I would have gone with my name change document. And I don't know why we're doing that.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
there are Peggy's who prefer Peggy over
Correct.
their full name, maybe Margaret,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
There are people prefer Bob or Bobby over Robert.
Yes.
People prefer middle names over first names.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
yet so many of the forms I looked at in programs don't have what is your preferred name.
Right.
What do you want us to call
What do
you?
you want me to call you? Yeah.
So in our early childhood programs, we need to be asking, what do you want me to call you?
Yeah.
And then we need to do it.
And then do it.
Please learn it.
Please do it.
Please learn it. So I was in this program and I said, I'm curious. I went over to one of the adults and I said, I'm curious if it is a program-wide thing or just a classroom thing, that when you were speaking to another adult and there was no child even around,
Right.
that you called that adult mom, and she said I couldn't remember her name. And I said, oh, okay, so we need to come up with a way for you to remember her name, because the respectful thing to do is call people by their preferred name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even their legal name all the time, as I am evidence of.
Yeah.
Just call me by Cynthia, and I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
In business, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I know people are going to do what they do because they've known me so long, most people.
Yeah.
My husband and my sisters were scared. They're like, what are we going to do? And then I pointed out to them, they all call me Sin.
Yeah.
Works either way.
Yeah, my family and people who are, not even everybody who's close to me, but some people who are close to me call me Allie. And I don't mind if my mom...
I've never called you Allie.
No, my mom calls me Allie. My brother will call me Allie. But I don't introduce myself as... I don't introduce myself as Allie. I introduce myself as Allison. But I notice if I'm talking to myself, where I'm like, okay, Allie, I'll call myself Allie.
Interesting.
But I won't introduce myself as Allie. And I don't want strangers calling me Allie, because if you call me Allie, that means we're close. Right? And even most of my friends
I've never
don't
called
call
you
me
Allie,
that.
and we're close.
No, I know. Because that's not, it's more of like a family thing.
Yeah, they're a family. My family calls me Sin.
Yeah, and it's not even something I chose. It's something that I grew up with, and that's just what they call me. One
of my sisters, and I can't even give credit, I don't remember which one, but I said, you all call me Sin, and my sister said, we can CYN that instead of CIN.
You could.
And I'm like, works for me.
Yeah.
So there's one other thing I want to say about names. I want to talk about pronunciation.
Yeah.
It is really, really important that we learn the correct pronunciation of the adults and the children's names, and that we do our best, write it phonetically if you have to. We do our best to pronounce their names correctly. Again, I was in an early childhood program. There was a child with a name that didn't derive from English. I happened to know the pronunciation of this name because of a family I knew, and I knew some of the things that are said in that language. So I happened to know that name. And it was like springtime, and they were mispronouncing it. And afterward, I didn't want to assume anything. So I went over and I said, I've seen this name before, and it was pronounced this way. And they went, oh, that's right, I forgot. That's how you pronounce it. And please, it is so respectful to learn it, learn preferred names, pronounce it. If the children have a preferred name, it's okay to look at children as young as 3 and 4 years old and say something like, I saw mommy call you Bobby. Yeah, do you want me to call you Bobby, or do you want me to still call you Robert?
I've done this with 3-year-old. Like, I had a boy whose parents called him Nico. I said, do you want to be called Nico, or you want to be called Nicholas? He goes, I want to be called Nicholas. I am the only one in the whole school that calls him Nicholas. And they're like, why are you calling him that? I'm like, because he told me to. Exactly right. And so to this day, I see him every day, and I still call him Nicholas. And he gets a smile on his face when I say it, because I think he's also a little nervous about saying, hey, Mom, could you just call me Nicholas? Could you just do that for me? But I also don't think we should be shortening names and abbreviating names, because I've seen this happen too. Yep. You can't pronounce their name, so let's Americanize it with an abbreviation that I can pronounce. Well, that's not their name. You should be using their name and really work hard to try to pronounce it.
Unless the child tells you something else.
Something else, yeah.
There was a child who I said, her name was Suzanne. Yeah. And I said, I've always called you Suzanne. Yeah. I saw that Daddy called you Susie. Right. Do you want me to call you Suzanne or Susie? And she said, I want you to call me Petunia. I said, okay. Petunia it is. Yeah. It was Petunia for the rest of the year.
Yeah. But did she respond to it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
And by the way, she loved it. She loved it. Yeah. And I told her family, I said that we had this conversation, and she said, I want you to call me Petunia. They laughed. They were like, okie dokie.
It is funny.
Right?
That's cute.
It was very cute.
Should be that, and I feel like that's how some people have that nickname all the way through adulthood, and you have adults who are be called Petunia when their name is Susan. You know, right? But it's cute. But if that's what you prefer, then that's what you prefer. So
stinking cute. She was so stinking cute.
Very cute.
We have to respect names. Here's how much I respect names. Yeah. When we adopted this cat, it already had a name. I didn't love the name, but I kept the name because the cat knows the name. Yeah.
Right? I've done that with both my dogs.
Yeah. I just was all right, we changed the spelling, I'll be honest, to make it a little cooler. Right. But
Yeah, Rusty came with the name Rusty, and somebody asked
And
me, "What
so
are you
be it.
What are
What are you
changing
changing the name
his
to? I'm like, the cat already has a preference.
his name's Rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like that's his name. Like I don't know. I also have a thing with my name at school because they call me Miss Kentos at school, and I do not like that. And I was told by the district I was not allowed to go by Miss Allison.
Well, you're public school.
I know, but I still feel like if I have to respect everybody else's name, why can't they respect what I want to be called?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
See, and I always when I worked in private programs, I preferred Mrs. Tarabush because I felt like they're going to have to do that when they go to
Right.
public school
Right.
or any elementary school. So I was like, let them get used to talking to teachers by last name.
But why do they have to? Why can't I
It
go
was
by
just,
Miss Allison?
that was me.
And I feel like that's a very, well, no, I'm saying it's not you. It's the districts, right? It's the public schools that are making teachers go by names. Because I'm not the only one at school that said that. There's another teacher that was like, no, I'd prefer to be called by my first name or Miss and then my first name.
Interesting.
And they said, no, it's a district policy. You have to go by your last name. Okay, well, I don't really associate like with my last name that well. Like I've always been Miss Allison for my entire teaching career. And then I moved there and they're like, even at other public schools, they allowed me to be called Miss Allison. At other public schools I worked at, this district said, absolutely not. You need to be called Miss Kentos. And they call me Miss Kentos, and every time somebody says it, which is multiple times a day, I hate it.
You know,
I absolutely hate it.
it also can depend on setting, though. Like this, get this.
Yeah.
My son, who is an adult and has adult friends who have known us since he was in college,
Yes.
will call us Mr. and Mrs.
Right.
Tarabush, and I like that. I think it's very respectful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I am not. I'm sorry. I use my hands to speak, and I'm distracted now because the Zoom put up a
I
thing.
didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my
but that's
gosh,
okay.
it's a gesture
Thumbs
thing.
up
It's going to
for
go
what
away.
we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Thumbs up for that. So they call my son's fraternity friends from college, and he graduated like 6 unbelievable years ago.
Yeah.
They call us Mr. and Mrs. Tarabush, and I'm cool with that. I think it's very respectful. I think it shows that they are young adults with great manners.
Right.
And I will answer to that.
Right.
At the same time, my college students, I say to call me by first name. They call me Cynthia or Cindy.
Yeah. See?
Isn't that interesting?
That's very interesting.
For me, it's very...
Yeah.
My college students, I think I want them to see me as a mutual learner.
Yeah.
So I tell them, you can call me this, that, Cindy or Cynthia, whatever makes you, this, that, or like, you can call me Mrs. Tarabush, you can call me Professor, you can call me, right? Like,
right.
And then I get down to, or Cynthia.
Yeah.
And a lot of them use my first name because when I write things to them, I sign Cynthia.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of them use my first name, but I feel like that puts us on an even learning playing
Yeah.
field. I'm just another person. Don't be intimidated by the fact that I am instructing your college
Right.
course. We are mutual learners.
Right.
Whereas my son's friends are not mutual anything with
true.
me.
That's true. That's how I feel like with the parents at the school, the parents of the kids in my class. I'm like, please call me Allison because
You're
we're
equal partners
in this,
Yep,
right?
you're
And
equal
so,
partners.
like, I don't need you to call me Miss Kentos or Miss like, just call me Allison. We're adults. We're working in this together. We're on the same team. You wouldn't call a teammate necessarily Miss whatever.
That's right.
Like, so yeah, just call me Allison. And I think that's kind of the same thing here.
Yeah.
Your son's friends are not on the same playing field necessarily.
Lovely though they are.
Lovely as they are.
Yes, lovely though they are. So what do we want people to walk away with? Please learn the parents' preferred names.
Yes.
Please pronounce, and the children's preferred names.
Preferred names.
Please learn pronunciations, do what you have to learn it and remember it. And what else do we want people to do? Is that it? Preferred name,
names.
pronunciation.
Don't abbreviate it with something.
Don't
that you made
abbreviate
up.
unless you have permission.
Yeah.
Really go think about that. And I hope everybody goes back and thinks about how do you want to be referred to,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, watch the YouTube. You're going to see my name
change.
It's going to change first publicly like that and then later legally.
Yes.
All right, folks. Catch you next time on the podcast.
Bye, peeps.
When I might be Cynthia on the
That's
stream.
true. The next time. Yeah.
No, not next time because we're still sitting here.
That's true.
A few times after
the
this.
next time we're together.
Maybe
which
next
might be- yeah.
Maybe next month.
When you see the wardrobe change, the name may also change.
Perhaps. All right, folks. We'll catch you next time.
Bye, peeps.